If you struggle to feel God's presence in your life, watch this. There are seasons in life when God feels distant. Even the most devout believers can find themselves in a spiritual fog, unable to sense His presence the way they used to. During these times, prayer feels hollow, worship feels mechanical, and silence becomes deafening. If you're going through such a season, know this: you're not alone, and you're not spiritually broken. What you're experiencing is part of a common journey of faith, one that countless people have walked before you. We often associate God's presence with emotional highs, moments of joy during worship, peace in prayer, or awe in nature. While those moments are real and powerful, they are not the only markers of God's nearness. In fact, some of the most spiritually mature people in the Bible went through long periods where they couldn't feel God at all. Think of David crying out in the Psalms, "Why, O Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble?" Psalm 10:1. Or Jesus on the cross, echoing Psalm 22, my God, why have you forsaken me?" These are not signs of weak faith, but of raw and honest spirituality. If you struggle to feel God's presence, it may be time to reframe what that presence means. God's nearness is not always emotional. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it's hidden in ordinary moments. Sometimes it's only visible in hindsight. Our culture thrives on stimulation and instant feedback, but God is not bound to perform on our emotional timeline. His presence is constant, even when it's not perceptible. Much like oxygen, we don't see it or always feel it, but it sustains us nonetheless. This is where faith deepens, not in feelings, but in trust. The absence of spiritual sensation can be the soil where a deeper relationship with God grows, rooted not in temporary emotion, but in enduring belief. This kind of trust is what Paul referred to when he said, "We walk by faith, not by sight." 2 Corinthians 5:7. The Christian life is not always a mountaintop experience. It often includes valleys where faith is tested, refined, and proven. If you're in one of those valleys, consider this. Perhaps God is doing something beneath the surface. Silence is not absence. In seasons of spiritual dryness, God often teaches us to lean more on His Word, to seek Him more earnestly, and to develop resilience in our walk with Him. It's easy to follow God when we feel Him. It's far more powerful when we choose to follow Him, even when we don't. Practical steps can help you stay grounded in these seasons. Start with Scripture. The Bible is not just a historical document. It is living and active, a way God still speaks today. Read the Psalms, full of honesty, doubt, longing, and faith. Journal your prayers, even if they feel dry. Express your frustrations, fears, and hopes to God in writing. Worship anyway. Sometimes singing songs of praise when you feel empty is the most sincere act of faith you can offer. Also, seek community. Isolation can intensify spiritual struggle. Surround yourself with believers who will encourage you, pray for you, and remind you of truth when you forget it. Sometimes, just hearing someone else's testimony of God's faithfulness is enough to reignite hope. Watch sermons, devotionals, or testimonies that point you back to God. Often, just a few words from someone else's journey can help reorient your own. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Pastors, mentors, and Christian counselors are there for a reason. Struggling to feel God's presence is not a failure. It's a sign of desire. You're longing for connection, which means your heart is still seeking. And the good news? God promises that those who seek Him will find Him. Jeremiah 29:13. Most importantly, hold on to the truth that God is with you, even now, even in the silence, even in the doubt. He does not leave His children. His presence is not earned through performance, nor lost through discouragement. It's a promise. I will never leave you nor forsake you, He says. Hebrews 13:5. That is not a feeling, it's a fact. So, if you feel spiritually numb, tired, or forgotten, don't give up. Instead, take a deep breath and remember, you are seen, you are loved, you are not alone. Keep praying, even if it feels one-sided. Keep reading, even if the words feel dry. Keep showing up, because sooner or later, the fog will lift. And when it does, you'll look back and see that God was there all along, quietly, faithfully, lovingly leading you through it.